9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get into the tip-top zone.
Livestream, how you all doing? Hope you guys are doing well on this lovely Friday afternoon. We are back today doing something a little bit different. We're not doing our lo-fi stuff. We are working on a client animation about a group of cowboys around a campfire. It's an advertisement for a podcast that they're making. And we're going to be working on that today. I've just got some frame-by-frame stuff to do and a little bit just to tidy up and finish on this before I can get it off, sending off to them. They've given me permission to work on this publicly, which was nice of them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope the volume's okay. Let me know if it's not. Hope everyone's having a lovely afternoon so far. For new viewers, we animate live and we chill out and listen to lo-fi. It's all very relaxed here, and that's what we do. What's up, everyone? Nav Sketch, hello. Zapster Gaming, welcome. Maybe Sharma, thank you so much for being a lovely member, you lovely boy. Jonathan Wolf, what's good? Xander Corp, Mohit Pal, Serkan Sahin. Who else is here? Macarena Fernandez Correa. Hi from Argentina. Hello from the UK. Janky Sharma. Anivia. Devampshi. Visigan S. What's up, everyone? So, we need to get cracking because this is a complicated one. Lots of stuff going on, as you can see. I've also got a little storyboard that I'll be using whilst I make this, so I'll bring that up for reference as well. But essentially today we're going to be adding all of the frame-by-frame movement to these cowboys, which I thought would be a nice thing to stream. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. I'll just bring up the old storyboard here as well, just so that I can look at that whilst I'm working. You guys don't care about a boring old storyboard though. You're here for some dope animations, so that's what we're going to do today. First things first, I've got to add in this image of this hand holding the controller, which will be a nice way to warm up for me. So that's what we're going to be doing first. South London Reseller, what's up? Thank you so much for being a member. Good to see you. George Slade, how do you manage to push through work unmotivated? Trying to knuckle through a commission but can't find inspiration. Usually it's the fact that I like to eat food. And if I don't do the work that I'm being paid to do, I don't get to eat food. So that's the biggest thing. But honestly, it's just a lot about managing your time correctly, making sure to take breaks. I've spoken about this before. Like, stopping is just as important as starting, because otherwise you get burnt out. And I find that a lot of the time when I'm pushing through, it's mostly because I'm burnt out. But it's an age-old question. It's not just you. Any particular software for storyboarding? I do my storyboards in InDesign just because I've got a template that I built ages ago. There's probably lots and lots of better solutions out there nowadays. What they are, though, Don't know, because I don't use them. People use Mindlaw a lot, I think. Not Mindlaw, that's the guy who made my thing. Mila Note a lot more these days, I think, I've seen. But like I said, I just do mine in InDesign because oftentimes it's already kind of figured out what we want to do by the time we get to storyboarding, so it doesn't change much, so doing it in InDesign is fine. It does, however, take time if there's changes because you have to go in and like adjust all of the stuff and move it over, so there's probably a better way of doing it than the way I do it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this skin tone or whether I'll make the skin tone match the other two cowboys, but then you won't really see these hands against that skin tone, so I think I'll keep it this lighter version. Hello from the Philippines, a new subscriber, Hot Bloody Youth. Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Adeline Putri, welcome to the live stream. I hope you're excited to be here. That's lovely. Great to hear. I'm excited to be doing this. It's nice to be working on a client project. In Animate, first of all. Haven't done that in a while. And on stream. Haven't done that before. Hands. Oh no, naming conventions. Cowboy mid. Hands. Gotta keep your naming conventions good, didn't you? The reason I turn that into a symbol is so that I can go inside it. Oh, that is inside the wrong symbol. Go inside the symbol. Lock off the hands. And draw the controller and stuff on its own layer so that I don't have to worry too much about messing up other bits when I'm drawing these bits. Adnan Shahara, welcome to the live stream. Sorry if I butchered your name pronunciation there. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully today's live stream is going to be chill. We're going to have no invasions of trolls like we did last time. But if we do, I've got the timeout button at the ready. Ready and waiting to put those silly buggers right into timeout. We're not going to let them ruin the vibe. Gosh. So I'm actually going to put the buttons on their own layer as well, just because this one needs a little bit more detail because it's closer to the camera than the other stuff. So we're just going to hide the controller layer, zoom in a bunch, and draw out these individual buttons. Martina Ahmad, welcome to the live stream. First time for you here. Hi from Egypt. Wow. Once again, people from all over the world. This is great. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you enjoy your stay. We're just doing a little animation about a couple of cowboys. Visigan, what happened last time you were not here? Last time we just did the lo-fi, continued with the lo-fi stuff. This time I'm working on a client project about two cowboys sitting in the desert playing video games on an old TV. And it's for a podcast. Oops, I thought I set that to paint behind, but obviously not. Paint behind, there we go. So yes, you haven't missed anything regarding this animation, so don't worry. This is day 1 on this bad boy. Well, it's actually like day 3 for me, but day 1 on the live stream. Change these in the right order, otherwise they will not work. Mindlaw, what's up, man? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're not too late. No, not at all. We just started about 10 minutes ago. We did miss your bang-in tune, though, that is now part of the intro. So it's alright, though. It's in the playlist. It should play again later. Subtle Hunter, yo, what is up? Welcome, my man. How you doing? My man Chew, welcome to the live stream. Jonathan Wolf, are you making this because of Thanksgiving? No, unrelated entirely. It's an advert for a client. I'm British. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving in England because we've got plenty of other genocides that we committed that we like to celebrate. Oh shit, son! Hot take. Oh no, these are white buttons, aren't they, on the controller? I'm a fool. I'm a dang fool. I nearly did them in the wrong colour. I really like this controller design. It's based on the old like Sega Genesis, but with just 2 buttons. I don't know, there's something about the simplicity of it that really speaks to me. I like it a lot. Hot Blood Youth says, I wish I could draw like you. Thanks very much, but all it is practice. I don't think I'm a particularly good artist. I wouldn't even call myself an artist. I'd hesitate to call myself a drawer. It is actually just practice and time. You know, draw the things, I've said before, draw the things that you're excited to draw, and your drawings will be better because you're enjoying making them. Like, it's boring as sin drawing plants and stuff and still life, and it's very important and very beneficial to do so, but nobody ever said it was fun. So why not draw stuff that's fun? Because the most important thing is sticking with it, and you won't stick with it if you're not having fun. Just my 2 cents. Should I add some little divot details on this one? I think I should. Like the little boop cross in the middle of the D-pad. Paint behind, back to the normal rotation. You might switch to TV Paint. Your lines look dodgy on Animate. Yeah, TV Paint's a great option. Adobe Animate is pretty buggy these days. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I've had this particular project crash like 4 or 5 times whilst working on it, so I've been saving every couple of pen strokes just so we don't have a catastrophe like last time. But really, it's whatever floats your boat. There are no right or wrong tools these days. It tends to be that you can kind of use whatever you want, unless you're on a client project that requires you to use a specific piece of software. You know, it's whatever makes you comfortable, whatever you're the most comfortable in. That's the software that's going to get the best results. Nice. I don't know whether this guy should have sleeves. Do you reckon he should have a couple of sleeves? If we give him some sleeves, maybe? Pop them on their own layer. Call them sleeves. Lock off everything. Get your eraser out. Just... oh, that's not going to look good. It needs to be the other way. Bop. Like here. And there. Give him some like nice dark purple sleeves. I don't know. No. What do you guys think? I think leave them off for now, but what it definitely does need is some detail on the hands. Just to outline the thumbs and stuff like that. Against, you know, the rest of his hand. And the controller. Because he is closer to the camera, so I don't know where we have like little foldy bits. Might look nice. Where it's like the crease of the hand folding over there. No, those look bad. But those lines look good. And I think also we need just one here on the bottom of the wrist. Because it's folded over at quite a steep angle. I don't know though. Man, maybe just the thumbs. Maybe just the thumbs is enough. Bam, cowboy mid hands, which means I can delete this sketch layer, get rid of it. And we got our hands now, which is good. If they're cowboys, are they playing Red Dead Redemption? They're playing a whole collection of games, don't you know? Oh, it's hot coffee. Glad you found this. Gregory from Ohio. Welcome, Gregory from Ohio. How you doing? Xander Corp, welcome. Have I tried Calipeg? Never heard of it, unfortunately. Martina, I find it hard to draw in Adobe Animate. It definitely takes practice. It's like a unique brush system. Jonathan Wolf, though, if you found a free animating app on your iPad besides Flipperclip, try Rough Animator. Rough Animator is great. I love Rough Animator.
Discussion podcast and other media.
And yeah, apart from that, I use ProCreate, but that's not free. So if you want a free one, Rough Animate I think is free or quite cheap. 686 plus 24 gives us a second for him to move in. Wash. And then we want his hands to kind of slide in from off camera. Do a bit of easing on it as well. So ease in and out quartz, see what that looks like. Needs to take much longer to do so, first of all. And I think quart is going to be a bit harsh. Let's try quad. Yeah, that looks nice there. Here's the issue with working with the camera. You got to make sure that you're not overextending, because the blue line is the edge of the frame. Calipeg. What is Calipeg? I've not heard of it. Is it just an animating app? I'll look it up. Yeah, Calipeg. Let me take a note. I'm always looking for more animation apps on iPad. Calipeg. C-A. Oh, my pen's run out, I think. Calipeg. There you go. I'll check it out. Thank you for the recommendation. It's Jams is telling me to ease in, guys. I've done it. It's Jams. I've eased in. What kind of tweening are you using? Classic tweening, baby. I'm old school. I think it needs to speed up a bit more though, so you can just always edit the custom curve of that. And just whoop, save it up a bit. Nice. And then as he zooms in, he should fill up the screen. So I want the hands to stay on screen a little bit longer. So I think what I will do is scale up the hands. Just want them to stay on screen for a mite longer, so that they're supposed to be like the representation of the viewer. So like he's going to sit down. Yeah, that's better. And then by here we'll have them just eke back down out of sight. Let me just do that on a normal classic thing. There you go. It's just like he's lifting up to step over the log. And they might like jank a bit in the preview, like here for example. They shouldn't do it in the real thing, and if they do, you can just swap out a keyframe like that, which will fix it. Fix the jank. Alright, sweet, save. Any Draw with Jazza fans here? Me. I'm a Draw with Jazza fan. He's a legend. What a good boy. Love Draw with Jazza. He's an OG of animation. Turns out Rough Animator isn't free, but it was just $4.99, so I bought it anyway. Yeah, $4.99 is way too cheap for Rough Animator. It is worth a lot more than that. Such a good piece of software. Right, let's take a look at this. So after I've finished animating this, I'm going to get onto the cowboys in a minute because we're pretty much done with everything else now. After we're done animating this, I'm dropping it into After Effects to add some like roughness and some noise to it and stuff as well to make it a bit more saucy. There's a voiceover to this, but it's quite quiet. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. So you'll notice at the moment that these cowboys are just like static. So we're going to be doing all of their animation today.
Why don't you sit a spell and listen?
Oh, you do. I don't know whether that was you actually see his hands or not there, or whether it's just because the preview is like not cropped correctly like it should be. I think the preview is about there. This is what we've done so far. It's looking okay.
Discussion
I'm quite happy with it.
Why don't you sit a spell and listen?
Yeah, they definitely do. We need to change the easing on that because it's because they start to come up too early. So maybe what we'll just do is just move that because they're not gonna eke out, but they might if we just squidge them a bit. Yeah.
Listen.
I don't know though, maybe we should just clear that keyframe. I know they'll leave screen a bit earlier. I don't know. I think maybe... I just knew that I wanted these to stay on screen just a little bit longer. Let's just see if we can't just manually do it and see what that looks like. Yeah, it's gonna look weird. It's gonna look bouncy. You don't want bouncy. Let's just leave them for now. I think Phoebe just went by in the background, did she? Is that true? Let's leave it for now and we'll come back to that. No one will see me faffing with keyframes. All stream. Did you see that at the end of the arms? Yeah, that's what I was just fixing. Beautiful, wow, perfect, nice. Oh, thanks so much. Jazza introduced you to Animate. Yeah, Jazza's a legend. He probably introduced you to Flash if you want to get technical, because it was Flash back in the day. But. So let's call that finished and let's move on to a different section. So it doesn't look like there's much animation going on here, but that's because it's all nested. And if you open up these cowboys, for example, they're only a single frame. And what we need to do is go, say we've got frame 116 and we've got frame 887. So they're going to need at least 800 frames inside of them if we wanted this to perfectly loop. So I'm just going to go all the way over to say like this far. And then all the way over, and let's just go up to just an even 900 frames. Bosh. And we'll do that for both cowboys. And then all the animation that takes place inside these cowboys is going to be reflected on our main timeline. And even 900 frames. Dosh, there we go. And let's just take these cowboys one at a time. So, first thing is they come in, the animation starts here. So it's actually this extra large gap is just so that I can add a fade. If I go over to After Effects, you can see I've added some effects on top, like some grain and some roughened edges and things like that. Like if I zoom in, you'll be able to see. So it takes all my neat animate lines and just adds texture to them and stuff, which is quite nice. And that section where it pauses is cut out so that I can have this fade between them. So the animation should really start somewhere around here, not on the first frame. But again, another good thing about Animate is if I go to that point on the timeline here and I go inside it and there's enough frames, it will automatically select the correct point in time for that particular frame, which is great for me. It makes my life a little bit easier. If you scrub back and forth though, it doesn't play, which is annoying. But I'm going to do the same thing on this cowboy here. And we'll just put it on frame 40 to keep things neat. But it's actually frame 41, but that doesn't matter. 1/24th of a second. Oh wow, lots of stuff. Macromedia pretty old. Yeah, Macromedia Flash back then. Code with Virage is animating this with me. Wow, you must have caught up pretty quick. See you later, Xandercorp. Subtle Hunter fell in love because of Alan Becker. Alan Becker's a legend. Love Alan Becker. You couldn't get past Blender Guru's Donut. Yeah, I got stuck on Donut. Hey, Peter Whitfield. How's it going, my bro? Indeed. Mellow tunes. Got lots of chill lo-fi today. Empress Salmi, what's up? Welcome to the stream. How long is this stream, Code of Virage? It goes on until 5 o'clock. About 2.5 hours. If you spam one TipTut stream, TipTut won't hesitate to tip cut you off the stream. That's so true. Pete got a hoodie and it's sick. Thanks, Peter. I know, you sent me a picture of it. Got a TipTut hoodie. What a lovely man he was. You can get them right now. youtube.com/tiptut/store. Maybe I'll pin a little hoodie boy up on the... here we go, look. Bosh. That's where you get a hoodie from. Right, so... am I just going to start off with basic... I think we're just going to start off with basic movements. First of all, we're going to need to pin all of these boys together. So let's clear this keyframe. And we're going to have to fix all of our anchor points first before we start doing any animation here. And I'm hesitant to pin layers together because it never works correctly, but at the same time it could be pretty useful if we did that at the start. So let's give it a go. We want the body to be the base of our tree. Let's just save, because otherwise we're going to break it. So, hey, you have merch from you, TipTut, do you? Send me a picture on Instagram, my man. I'll shout you out. What's my real name? It's Matt. Don't mind telling you that. So arm top is connected directly to body. Bosh. Arm bot is correctly connected directly to arm top. The head is connected to the body. The collar is connected to the body, and the hat is connected to the head. Is that right? Yeah. The back of the hand is connected to the back of the arm. The back of the arm is connected to the body, and the top hand is connected to arm bot. There we go. There's our little tree structure for our guy here. And all that means is now if I rotate this boy, it's going to rotate the rest of it with it. So actually, I suppose this one shouldn't be connected to... hand back shouldn't be connected to that. Hand back should be connected to hand front because it's on the controller. Which means the arm back should also then be connected to hand back. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Because then when we move this guy, his arm moves with it. Like that. Like this. So he's playing the game. Great. Do I do Twitch as well, where you start with a blank canvas? I don't do Twitch, no. I stream all on YouTube, but I will be doing a couple of live streams where I start from scratch. This was just a fun one because I had the project already going, you know. So next week, actually, I think we'll be starting a animation from scratch on the live stream, so that'll be fun. Right. So now we've connected all those up, we can start from frame 40. But before I do any of that, I need to think about how I'm going to animate the inner frames of these. I think I'm just going to draw a bunch of different poses for the hands and the heads, and then go between those frames. But that does mean that the head, at least, is going to need just a bunch of frames. And his head is going to have to be on single frame. Single frame looping, yes, because then I can choose between the frames that I want. Same thing for this back hand, which is going to be animated, but the front hand's never going to leave the camera. So again, that one is going to be in single frame. And that's it. The rest of the stuff, we are just good to go, I think. So we're going to start with some simple animation, first of all, which is just moving these bits around. So we'll start off with this guy here, and we'll just have him rotating this. Oops, need to add in a keyframe. So we'll rotate to bring this down, but then we'll also make sure that we rotate this back arm a little bit. Or should we leave it? That looks okay. I think we'll just leave it. Keep it nice and simple. As few keyframes as possible. That's what you need when you're animating. Ease it in and out, quad, fine. And then we've got this. He's doing a bit of a video game like people do when they're playing. Like when you're playing Mario Kart and you steer with your body. So we'll have that arm come back up like this. Classic tween. Classic ease. In and out. Quad, nice and gentle animation here. So I want him to play for a bit. like, and then they turn and they talk to each other, didn't they? So probably one movement in the arms there will be fine, and we can have like a brief back and forth on the neck as well. But again, we don't want too much or it stops being subtle. Especially if we're going to be moving between frame by frame stuff in there as well. Sub 2, thank you so much, Code of Raj, good man. Devench Goel, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being a member, you lovely, lovely person. And Redex Superior, what's up as well? Thank you again for being a member. So sweet of you. Well done. Redex Superior, I'm almost 1 month in, so you can get the blue or green badge. Hell yeah, it'll automatically update as soon as you hit that 1 month mark. Thank you so much for being a member. You're a lovely person. And you're literally giving me food. So, you know I'm not wasting it. I'm spending that money on to eat, baby. To get some good eats. Here we want to just change that classic ease as well to quad. So we've got a little bit of movement. Like that. Let's see where we are in the main scene. So they're already talking to each other at this point. The first couple of speech bubbles have popped up. But already you're seeing it's just adding like a lot more life to the scene. So I think he needs to turn his head at this point, and I fancy drawing something, so why not draw his head? So we're going to go to here, we're going to hit F6, because that's where his head's going to start changing. Oops, that's on the collar level. We do not want the collar. We want the head level. And then inside here, we're just going to do all this on ones, because... stash below and head, yeah, that's fine. Because we're frame picking, we don't have to worry about animating on twos. We can do it all entirely at our own discretion. So I need him now just looking like directly to the side. You didn't set up pings on Discord or manually message? Yeah, I've been busy, man. Like I said, I'd try and get to it when I can. I'd love to do it, but at the moment, it's been a hell of a week. But I'll get around to it. I'd love to see a stream where you play Passport 2. Oh, that painting game, yeah. I don't really want to get into playing games on stream. I suppose it could be different if it was an art game, but I don't want to fall into that kind of trap. I want to keep these things to do with design, to do with animation, you know. At least for now. Because I don't want to alienate my original audience just by doing random stuff that they may not enjoy. So he's turning his head around. So he's gonna, I think this guy, I drew him with quite a bulbous nose. So let's do that. He's turned his head, he's a bit bulbous. Yeah, that looks okay. I think his back ear needs to disappear off a bit if he's turning his head that much. Maybe to like there. And then we can just fix up that dent that I just accidentally took out. Cool. So then his hair and stuff would have to move back as well. So let's select the hair color, change to paint selection, and it'll be somewhere like here. And we give him a bit of a sideburn because he's a cool dude. And the only thing is now is that's going to turn and he's going to come up like this a bit. And this is going to flatten off at the edge because it's curving around his head. But I think I'm going to put the rest of the hair on the below layer so I can retain the edge of his head there. So that when I move... because this is going to retain the same shape, basically. But I want to make it clear that it is, you know, like around his head. So if I go back to paint normal and just move the point a bit, but otherwise leave it in the same space, that should, when you fill it in, yeah, look like it's coming off the other side of his head. And because he's turned, it's not going to be quite as prominent. So let's move it back a bit. And perhaps it should just roll off like this. Because it's going to be under the hat as well. You've got to remember that at the moment we're like inside the hat. inside the head. But we know that it's going to be under the hat, so we can just turn that off. No, I do think that it should be a little bit further out. Maybe we'll leave it like that. That looks okay. What am I using to draw? A Wacom tablet. DaVinci Go might try out Scribble with subs. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like Scribble.io or something like that would be fun. I'd love to do that. Scribble with subscribers is a good idea. Yeah, like maybe like members can play with me or something. That might be fun for like a Christmas stream. You're not really into art games? Yeah. Art games, yeah, you got that risk of other people drawing rude things and stuff, haven't you? Did you create any of this in Illustrator? Nope. All in Adobe Animate. Question. Thought frame picking was just for lip sync. Can this be used generally? Hell yeah. Say for example, you've got a collection of hand poses that you want to flip between. You know, so you've got normal hand, and you've got like clenched fist, and you've got like rock and roll. Yeah, there's no reason you can't put those on frames and then like animate with a motion tween, you know, and then just frame pick like open hand, rock and roll fist, closed fist between those. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, you know, then just flip between those. It depends. It basically means if you're working with a bunch of layers like I am, you don't have to worry too much about the graphics syncing up because you can just manually pick the frame that you want. Nav Sketch, you're going to hang out and do some animation yourself? Good man, good man. Pop off and do that. But yes, way more uses than just lip sync for animation, for frame picker. So we've got the hair underneath there. This mustache is going to now look like kind of like that, I think. So we might as well do all of that on top. Like so, because it's going to switch around anyway. So now what we can do, just because I don't want to worry about things like looping and stuff like that, that's why I'm choosing frame picker here. Because now I could just say, oh, okay, frame picker, here we go. I just want to look at this one instead. Yeah. One thing though is I've accidentally coloured his ear black, which is no good. He's got a red ear. So we'll fix that. Nice. Also by this point he'll also, if we just do like call this layer above, you probably see one of his eyes, right? Oops. Let's make it the same colour. I'm not quite sure where it would be, but it would definitely be somewhere. Like that, maybe. That looks okay. His ear kind of gets a bit longer and thinner though, doesn't it? So we'll definitely fix that now as well. And we'll stick that on the same layer. And we're on paint normal. Oops. Make sure we're on the right damn colour this time. His ear lost a little bit of height there and we don't like that. Nice. So now we've got these two frames and we just need some tweens basically. Can Character Animator achieve this level of animation alone? No, absolutely not. Character Animate is fine, but it's very limited. Tarantula Hawk, welcome to the live stream. I must ask you a question. Thank you. Are there cheap tablets starting from 4K INR? Check out Huion. Yes, Huion's a great brand. He did spell it correctly. Yeah, Huion are great, and they're much cheaper than Wacom, so that's always good. We love things what we can do cheap like. Look how long it takes me to save this damn project though. That's the real drama here. I just realised, guys, we've got 70 people watching. That's twice as many as we usually have watching. Thank you so much. Hello everybody and welcome. We are animating. I don't really know what else to say. It's a bit like that, isn't it? So let's turn on onion skin, but let's also turn on outline mode because we need to draw his head between these positions. Lucky for us, the actual shape of the head doesn't really change. It is just the silhouette, so the nose and the ear that changes, so you can kind of just bosh straight through it, which is great because it saves us a bit of time, and as we all know, animation takes forever, so any time that you can save is time well saved. Nice, that looks pretty good. So let's take this, grab the dark colour, double check that it didn't change it, which it did, so undo that. Nice. And then once you've drawn that base layer, you can kind of a bit easier see like the difference between the hair and stuff. So you can choose whether to leave it on or off. I quite like working with it off. Ooh, and just before I ruin everything, I'm just going to choose paint selection and make sure I've got the selection, obviously. And then we go down. Boom. How's that look? Not bad, apart from once again I forgot to do the ear. I'm always going to forget. There's always one thing. Every animation there's always one thing. Last time it was forgetting to paint the cat's leg. This time it's forgetting to do this guy's back ear. And that's all there really is to this like style of animation here. So, boom. To unlock that frame because we've changed layers. But again, as you can see, there's not a super amount of difference, which was by design. Just so that I can more easily take care of this frame. The good thing about doing this as well, frame picker wise, you can then flip back and forth kind of at will between your shapes, which is good. So what's on this layer? His mustache. I don't need that layer then, do I? So let's do, is this going to be stashed below? It's still going to be below at this point. Some of it might be above. It's Thanksgiving day off. Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of people. Hey Matt, doesn't the chat mess with your concentration because you talk to us once in a while and have the same concentration back? What? Yes, it does mess with it, but what am I going to do? Just ignore you guys? I don't want to ignore you. I'm not that rude. But these live streams, like, I don't intend to get a cracking amount of work done on these. I intend to make a little bit of progress whilst hanging out with you guys. That's my main concern. And then after the live stream I'll carry on and I'll get the work done, if that makes sense. Right, so here as well I think we need the eye just starting to come in. That's alright. Let's add in a few more ease frames between each one. So that's just an F7. And it's a case of easing them in. So now that we've got that path sorted out, we could probably just do it like a piece at a time. Like a layer at a time. And obviously it's going to be the half speed of this as well. So I don't think I actually need anything below on that frame. Nope, but I'm gonna need his head, aren't I? Let's be honest. So let's draw his head. Moek, if you advertise, then you're just going to be hidden. Sorry, mate. That's just what happens. Riddick says, I'm just learning how to be a pro in this. Keep practicing. Practice all the time. That's really all there is to it. There's no secret trick. There's no magic potion. There's no one paid or free course that was going to make you a brilliant animator. You've just got to do it for a long time and work hard at it and don't give up. I know that's not the answer that anybody ever wants to hear. But it's the truth. And the truth hurts. I don't know why I'm being so careful about the bottom of his neck here. It's all hidden by the collar. Same with the top of his head, but I don't know. I don't heckin' know. I don't know what I'm doing in this life. So here I'm just trying to go a little bit left, or a little bit right, sorry, of the final frame. And again, if we zoom in on his ear, we sort that out. And if we change to paint selection, we can just cut. I didn't think of this before, but we can just choose the point where we're going to cut the head like that, which will work fine. And then we can just go back in with the paint normal brush and finish up. Like that. And then hopefully we can just go boop and boop, and then it's job done. Apart from I accidentally just filled in the ear again like a numpty. Yeah, it doesn't actually save that much time at all, does it really? There's no point to that. In fact, it makes things a little bit difficult. Ah, well, it was worth a go. Right, let's do his hair then. That's what's going to have to be on the paint behind layer. Is his old chunk of hair. In the right colour as well, hopefully. Do you have any advice for aspiring animators like me? Asks Bibitayo. Sorry. No, not really. Work hard. Work hard, draw stuff that you think is fun. The same advice I give to anyone that asks, really. Work hard, don't give up, draw things you think are fun. And eventually one day you'll become an animator. Or at least that's my experience. This ear needs to be either a little bit bigger or this ear needs to be a little bit smaller. I think I'll make this ear a little bit smaller. Nice, that looks pretty good. Last little frame in this little test sequence then. Let's just have the head layer first. I'll just do it my normal way. I'm not going to try and do anything clever this time. It didn't help. Hey, if I had any money, I would donate you. Thanks, Code of Virage, but you don't need to donate. It's very kind of you. It really helps. But just watching the video, sharing, liking, commenting, showing your friends, all that sort of stuff is just as helpful, and I really appreciate that too. Janice L, how long does it take to create a 10-minute animation movie for YouTube, for example? Depends entirely on the style and entirely on your skill level. A long time is the short answer. Unfortunately, there's not really many shortcuts. Is what it is. Nice, so that's pretty good. Turn it to outline mode. Let's grab my dark pen color. Select the frame, go to brush tool, choose paint selection, and start working on that ear. So green is next and blue in this case is before. So it just needs to be just a little bit to the left of all the blue bits. Looks okay. As does that. And as does that. But we'll just fix that little corner bit, I think. There you go. Looks okay there. And of course, I forgot to draw the ear. It's a meme now. Where's his ear? I don't know. Let's just draw it slightly smaller. I always forget to do the damn ear. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me and my dislike of ears? Oh god, then I forgot to turn it on to paint selection mode. It's a Pavlova. It's a palaver. Great, so mustache. I mustache you a question. I'm beginning to rotate mine head. I forgot to turn off paint selection. Every time I forget to turn off paint selection, I'm happy with what I've drawn and it gets lost. Every time I remember to turn off paint selection, I'm unhappy with what I've drawn and it remains. There's probably something about life in there somewhere, isn't there? You know. Be thankful for what you've got, blah blah blah. Some crap. What does the animated job market look like with COVID? More or less work lately? Honestly, I haven't really noticed a difference. It's all been pretty much like normal. So that looks pretty smooth, especially if we now go back up to our cowboy layer and we add in a nice secondary animation of his arm rotating a touch, which will look nice. Just boop, back down a bit. Classic tween that, so that there's two things to look at, which covers up any mistakes. Not that there are any, but covers up any mistakes that might be there if you have his head turn. Then we can go to frame picker window, which is covered up by my microphone. And we can say, right, I want that to be now frame 2 over here. Here I'd like frame 3. Here I'd like frame 4. And here I'd like frame 5. Then I'd like to just animate on frame 5 his head going up and down. Just a little bit. Oh, there's an errant bit of paint over here on some random frame. I can't see which one. Which frame is it? This frame. Oh, no, that frame. There we go. That should have got rid of it. No, it did not. Where's my errant bit of paint that's making my box head that big? Oh, there's one up here too. It's because my glove is too thin and it occasionally registers my like the touch of my, there we go, the touch of my hand, which is no good. So here we're going to have him like tilt his head back a little bit. He can classic tween it, and we will classic ease it nice and gently. And there you go, you got the head turn. And if we turn off onion skin, you can see. There you go, bit of animation for you. How's that doing? Your drawings are perfectly fine, Matt. Thank you. I'm never happy with what I've drawn. I always know I can improve it, but all that means is that you get better, right? Because you're just constantly trying to improve. Freddie Wakefield says, "How do you poop at?" Whoops, ignote that. How do you poop at? I'm hoping that was a typo. You don't really understand the topic or whatever of this animation. Can you please explain? There's a voiceover that you can't hear, but it's essentially about a podcast. It's an advert for a podcast about people that sit around talking about video games and stuff, and the voiceover gives it all of its context. But essentially it's like, you ever heard tell of the Broken Campfire? A bunch of knuckleheads sitting around talking about video games and doing stuff, you know. And then this is going to play behind that voiceover. You can check it out, I suppose, when it's up and live, and then you'll know the context. But with the voiceover, it makes a lot more sense. But as you can see, just from that first little section here, with a bit of movement in this cowboy, ignore this bit because it doesn't show. But from about here, he's doing some talking. It adds like a lot of interest to the scene just by having that small passive amount of animation, which is kind of great in my opinion. What do I do for a living? This. YouTube and graphic design, animation, freelance, that sort of thing. So here's the interesting bit. I'm now going to have to draw more frames for this hand here. But before I do, I'm going to, instead of animating the elbow here, because that'll move everything, I'm just going to, the shoulder, sorry, I'm just going to animate the elbow out of position. Oops. Which will move just these bits. Classic tween it. Quad. And when that starts moving, we're going to have hand back, animate away, or at least up a bit, and then back into position shortly after. And then we're going to go through and add some frames in the same way we just did the head. And he's going to like gesture with his hand. But again, this is already set to single frame if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. So I'll be able to go to my frame picker window and pick those new poses. Okay. You can't really hear the voiceover because of the music playing in the background. Yeah, the voiceover of the animation. Yeah, that's fine. You don't need to hear it. You can hear my voice okay, right? That's the important thing. Delete all these. So this hand appears on top of the controller, which I may need to change. But we'll just see how it goes. If we, for example, make sure that this wrist section is always the same, we hopefully won't have much trouble with like linking it up and connecting it to the rest of the animation. That's the plan anyway. Now this might not even be the best way to do it, but it's a plan I'm going to give a go to. And if it doesn't work, for example, by this point, I could then just swap to frame 2. Yeah, fine, whatever, frame 2. Give it a keyframe, bosh. Yeah, you see, and it will start to like open up a little bit. So that's the plan. And for some reason, no, we're fine. Master Duipan Das, I'm now learning Blender and After Effects. Adobe Animate not started yet. Good man, good man. You've got to stay like flexible in the amount of softwares that you can use, which is great. Can you make a tutorial about everyday tips and tricks and every tool in Adobe Animate CC, please? Luckily for you, I'm making an intro to Adobe Animate 2021 series with 9 episodes. It's going to start in a couple of weeks' time, so hopefully that'll be good enough for you. If anyone has an idea, Rick and Morty is vector, the backgrounds and planets still, or is it a bit of raster and vector? No idea. Probably vector. Probably made in Toon Boom. You don't need 16 gigabytes of RAM for Adobe Animate. You might need 16 gigabytes of space. Hard drive space, but you definitely don't need 16 gigabytes of RAM. I could run Adobe Animate on my old crappy laptop. So if I can do that. You should be fine. So here we're going to need a different color just to outline the thumb, and in fact I think what I'll do before I color it in is just select this line because I'm happy with the way it looks, change its color, with it deselected, just paint fill the rest of the hand in. That's probably the nice way to do it. And then I suppose we could do like this too, if we wanted. And then from here, I think I'm just going to need 2 hands that are like pretty much normal, like open hands, as if he was gesturing. Yeah, getting there. Good one today. Not too bad. Moving swiftly on, as my father would say. Just making sure you select the right bits. Yeah, so this is where I run into trouble. Kind of janky at drawing hands. But it's going to be in motion, and it's also going to be mostly behind stuff too. think it's just because his thumb's actually too close to the body of the hand at this point. If we just rotate it out a bit, it'll probably be okay, right? Yeah, it looks much nicer. Yeah, that looks good. We'll stick with that. But we will add in a bone on that hand there. Maybe a little bit higher up, actually. Pretty good. And then we'll do one more frame. That I'll again just reduce to a single frame. And we'll try and neaten up some of those lines. How much RAM and CPU power should you purchase if you want to be marginally efficient in Character Animator and After Effects? No idea. I've always run with way more than I need, but minimum of 8 gigs of RAM and like a decent GPU and you'll be fine. I can recommend AMD as over Intel, but Intel's better for gaming. So if you're making like a combination PC, then who knows? Hey, it's Mindlaw's track. This is a track that Mindlaw made specifically for Tip Tut. He did a cracking job. Nice. Cool, I think that looks okay. Nice. So we're going to go back here, we're going to turn off onion skin. And we've got the movement of the hand. So let's see if we can't. I think we'll get away with the fact that it jumps in front of the controller because he is gesturing. Although that, between that and that looks naff. So let's go back in and finish. And just adjust those fingers. Because that looks a bit rubbish. There you go, I think that might look a bit nicer. It'll do at any rate. Probably be coming back and refixing these later on, so. Oops. Adobe Animate does this sometimes. I'm just going to delete this whole frame and start again. So annoying. Like glitches out on you. Mustard says, I like Tip Tut animations, by the way. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I try my best. I work hard. It's nice that people like my stuff. That makes me feel nice. This is kind of chunky, but we'll get that. Boom. So the middle finger. Is that going to look okay? Here we go. Turn off outline. Bosh. Looks alright to me. I mean, this isn't like a realistic style animation, is it? But it's still got to look dope. And if it doesn't look dope, then we're not doing a good job. So let's try that. And that, I believe, will look a lot nicer. Yeah. So he comes up, he's gesturing, and then he comes back down. He needs to, as his hands start to come back down here, he needs to start animating back out again. So that one will change to 4, and then this one here, 3. But then only back to 2 around here, because his hand's got to turn, and then back to 1. Ooh, not there. Back to 1, I think. Here. Nope. Oh, it's not even connected up at this keyframe here, so we'll just fix that by eking these into position. I think this needs a line on the back of his hand here on the thumb though, to kind of differentiate it. Maybe just something like that. Yeah, there you go. Let's take a look at it. Nice, that looks alright. See it in motion, as you like, from the beginning. At least you have lassos in Photoshop. Yeah, you got lassos in Animate too, which is good. Isn't colouring in Animate tough? No, not really. It's quite classic. So the guys who want animation done for the podcast need music too. I doubt it, they've done the music already, I think. Can we animate and animate then colour every frame in Photoshop? If you want to, but I don't know why you would. Unless you wanted to add texture, in which case I would bring it into After Effects and add texture there. Photoshop is more advanced for art. Yeah, of course it is. It's an art piece of software. This is an animation software. But you can definitely bring it in, sort of frame by frame, into Photoshop and add texture. Right, we're going to take a quick break whilst I let my wife in. So we'll be back in about 60 seconds. Pete, you're going to marry TipTut if you can get free tips. I'll marry you, Pete. I have to talk to my wife first, though. Here's a free tip for you. Be excellent to everyone. And party on. So look at this cowboy on the left. He's an animated boy. He's talking, moving his hand about. I think by this point we'll have him look back. He finishes animating there. I'll have him look back at the TV. Ali Al Talib, welcome my friend to the live stream. How's it going? Thank you so much for being a member. Look at that lovely green shiny badge. Get in line, yeah. Al's gonna marry me first. Man, it'd be really weird if I knew these guys in real life. I bet they're a bunch of freaks. Bet they're a bunch of freaks and geeks. So I'm going to just quickly pop that head, keyframe on that head there, and check what we've done so far with this guy. So he's playing the game. I think I need to, as he's doing this, I think his thumb needs to like tip-tap the old buttons. So if I go inside hand top, is that going to be, yeah, that's easy peasy because I'm clever. But I didn't set this one to single frame, so that's foolish of me. So what I can do is just put a bunch of keyframes in like this. And just like fake it by having it animate every now and then. Lock away that bottom layer. Oh, Peter Whitfield. What the heck? You lovely boy. Thank you so much for becoming a member, my friend. It really means the world to me. You're literally paying for food that goes into my belly. What a lovely human being you are. Yeah, I'll marry you now, if you like. Now that you've become a member. I'll happily marry you. Just come on over. We'll get married right now. It's my boys. My sweet boys. Right, so now if I just... oh god. If I just paint in the rest of the frames here, then we'll have a nice little button tap that we can just loop whenever the hell we feel like it. Which is nice. So... and it didn't take too long at all because we're just moving that one bit. What up, Moek? Welcome to the live stream. Master Duipan. Oh, no, sorry. Shikwa Agrawal. Sorry if I butchered that. I probably did. Welcome to the TipTut Club, Peter, indeed. You're not a console boy. Why the controller? Nah, it's for a client. Client's a console gamer. Plus, I've got a Nintendo. I could console with the rest of them. I've been known to rock it at Apex Legends every now and then. Last night I got to rank 5, I'll have you know, in Apex Legends. So, suck it. I've been known to pwn a noob. And occasionally punch Pathfinder. In Apex, the game what I've played a lot of. Hey, what's your specs? I did a video. My setup for 2020 a couple months ago. It's pretty much the same as that, apart from I dropped my green screen and smashed all of my monitors, so they're different. Apart from that, though, they're literally the same. Sweet, that looks pretty dope. I'm happy with that. Bosh. Let's have a look zoomed out. Hey Charan, hello love from India. sending my love from the UK. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well on this fine Friday afternoon. Chilling out. Cool, that looks pretty good. So this is the point where he's going to turn his head back to the television. So his arm's probably going to stop moving quite so much now. So we've got arm top. Let's just use that as a way to get him more animated back into his original position, just by tweaking that down a bit. Classic tween, classic ease in and out quad. Oh, good, and we got a nicely timed little click there as well. So with the head, we'll do the same thing we did last time, which is just to rotate him up just a little bit as he turns with a classic tween, which again we will ease in and out. And then if we bring up our frame picker window with the head selected, we can start to move his head back from position 5 through back into position 1 using the keyframe picker. And that's the first cowboy animated during that first segment. So let's have a look.
Group of knuckleheads sitting around talking about video games and other media. Word is, they got...
Oh, what happened there? But at some point in there, his frame... I forgot to do frame picker on that last one for position 1. That's why that blipped out like that. But that's fixed now, and he looks pretty dope. So let's save. Basuna sends her love. Phoebe sends her love right back. I think at the moment she's out in the conservatory with them. Belly up, probably. Anyone plays Minecraft here? I play Minecraft. Me. Dungeons and Dragons also. Yes, Al. This animation is really charming. Nice style and colour. Thank you so much, Ali. It's very kind of you. It's a nice colour palette, isn't it? I can't claim the colour palette is mine. I found it. I modified it slightly to work with what I needed. But I didn't fully make it. Should his hat wobble a bit? I think his hat should wobble a bit. He's moving his head about. Let's do some nice subtle animation on the hat. So he's dropping down. So let's have the hat drop down a bit too. First of all, we'll make sure, yes, already got it in the right place, the anchor point. So let's have just that, just rotate just a little bit. And then he's going to lift his head back up. And it's going to take a fraction longer to come back up. And then as it turns as well, we'll move it just for some nice subtle animation. Crack a bunch of classic tweens on there. Give him some nice subtle easing. Doesn't add much, but it does make it look way more believable. Which is nice. We like believable motion here at Tip Tut. Just really subtle stuff going on. Adds that nice little level of believability. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think that cowboy's done. Maybe we can move on to the other cowboy now. Guy on the left looks like you. He does a bit. Maybe you should shave a massive mustache like that into your beard. Code of Virage and Jonathan Wolf are just hooking themselves up with a Minecraft date whilst on stream. 89 people watching. That's crazy. That's like 3 times more than we usually have. Thank you so much, and welcome everybody to the live stream. Hey, can I share the project files? Please only ask that question once, not 3 times in a row, otherwise the robot will count it as spamming. But no, I cannot. This is a client project. I don't share my project files anyway, because people usually just take them and then sell them on Fiverr. And I'm fed up of it. So unfortunately, no. But hey ho, what are you going to do? So I don't need to animate him for this bit because you can't see him, so it'll be a waste of time. But we can do literally what we just did with this guy, but now with the guy on the right. So let's do that. So I need actually moving, and just like we did before, the first thing we need to do is adjust all these anchor points, set his rigging up so that he's connected in all the right places, and then we can start doing some nice subtle animation on his body parts. And we'll need to redraw some frames for his head. But again, just 5 frames will do, so it's not really too much of a problem. It won't take all year, hopefully. This guy's gonna have to animate like from the wrist. Then we've also got arm back, which I think we should just make animate from here as well. And we'll pin it the same way we did before, where we pinned it to the controller instead of his arm, which doesn't make any sense, but it does in this specific scenario. Can you at least tell the music you used in this vid? There is no music in this video, it is a voiceover. The music that is playing in the background is just a bunch of random lo-fi from YouTube audio library. So crack on YouTube audio library and see what's there. See if anything tickles your fancy. Right, so all those anchor points are done. Now, layer parenting. Arm front needs to be connected to the body. Arm front bot needs to be connected to arm front. Hand front needs to be connected to arm front bot. Hand back needs to be connected to hand front. Yes, because then when I rotate this, it's going to stay connected to the camera. And arm back needs to be connected to hand back. And head needs to be connected to body. And hat needs to be connected to head. And there is our layer tree. Lovely. Oh my god. This is going to take forever. Ali Al Talib, you funded £5. You are so very kind. It's lovely of you. I don't believe it. Thank you so much, man. That's so kind of you. You remember and you're donating. What a boy. What a boy. Hands up for Ali Al Talib, everyone. Give him a round of applause. What a lovely chap. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna buy some cosmetics in Apex Legends with that money. Because I'm that pro at video games. I'm going to spend it on video games. I'm not really. It's probably going to be spent on food. So, cool. We got some nice animation going on here. Roughly where did it take this dude up to? So from frame 40 to frame 200. So we've got 160 frames of animation to do, which is great. Oh, Peter as well. You fucking lovely boys. And I kind of like how there's like a little like a battle of wills. There's a battle of wills going on here. Please stop donating. It's very kind of you. Actually, don't. I love it, but please stop. I always feel so weird about it. You guys are lovely. You guys are so lovely. Thank you so much, Peter. It's very kind of you. Stop now. Right, so let's just do the same thing we did with this guy. We'll just animate his arm a little bit, wiggling back and forth, and we'll take it from there. So, some nice subtle animation. Thing is with this one, look, his other arm's going to poke out from behind him because it's not connected. But to fix that, because I know that it's not really necessary, I could literally just come in and boop, delete that bit, and then it looks totally fine. Rather than animating that as well, because that's never going to peek out from behind the arm, I don't think. So he's got, yeah, nice. Now I could be super cheeky, because I do believe that this hand of Cowboy right hand is exactly the same as Cowboy left hand, but just flipped. But I don't know whether I just could have like his left trigger finger tapping instead, which might look, you know, a bit different than just moving the thumb as well. That might be better. Bit more of a variation in the animation. We're on 101 concurrent viewers. That's 100 people watching this live stream. That is crazy. Thank you so much to everybody that's decided to spend their Friday afternoon here with me. It's very kind of you. I really appreciate it. I couldn't imagine just watching someone else animate for that long. You're very beautiful, kind people. Like we did on the other one, we'll just add a bit of drift animation to his hat too. So as his head comes up, we'll have his hat come down. And by this point, it's a little bit up. And then by that point, it's back to normal. And that adds a nice little bit of realistic motion as his hat kind of like whoosh, kind of rocks back and forth with him, which looks good. 100 people. Thank you, Al. You could use layer depth to hide that arm as well. Yeah, I've got layer depth in the main composition, and it's already behind it on a layer below. But it's just so much easier just to go whoop and delete that extra bit of the arm. So Alexandria says, "Oh, you're spending the afternoon with us." Yeah, exactly. I do just love hanging out with you guys. It's nice to actually like chat with you after just making videos for so long. It's nice to actually like just hang out with the people that watch my videos. I don't like how his neck here, now that it's moving, kind of wibble wobbles. I think I can fix that if I go inside the body, and I'll just make it a outline for now. But I think I can fix that by getting a skin color, changing to paint selection, and just adding a nice little bit of skin tone there. Boop. There you go. Oh, a bit too far still, but that's probably my fault. In fact, I should probably move the head down like that. Yeah, that's much better. I mean, his head's just going to randomly... No, that seems to be okay. Fine. Nice. Easy solve. Easy solve. There you go. And he's rocking back and forth. At this point, you don't really see the back of his neck either, so it's not too much trouble. You just didn't want that like random bit where his neck disconnects there. I don't have anything better to do. It's pretty chill just to sit down and watch some animation streams. Yeah, I find it too. Whenever like Paper Bag Animator or like Alan Becker or Aaron Blaze or anyone like that animates, I always pop on the stream in the background. It's super chill. It's very true. Great. I think our music has stopped. Should we go back to the start of the playlist, shall we? Bam. It's got our favourite song at the beginning. The banger of a tune that always rockets up our viewership. Here we go. Nice. So a little bit of subtle animation there. It's going good. And we only need to get to frame 200 with this, so I don't want to go overboard because later on we'll come back to these same characters as well. So it'll look weird if there's too much happening. So let's just do it from the elbow this time. So there's a bit of variation because you don't want the same thing over and over again. And again, we'll just rotate it in this time instead of out as well because you don't want to see the same thing twice. Let's do it cubic. It's a little bit slower, like he's like tensing up. Boom. And let's have his whole body just rotate back a little bit. Because at this point they're going to be talking, I think. So his head would have turned by this point when we actually get to that. So I'm going to have him lean in. The whole body leans in. Like so. There you go, nice. I don't think I did any body keyframes on the other guy, actually. Let's hop back and have a look. No, I didn't. But let's also just fix this too, because we want a little bit of, because the head will turn there, I think. So we'll leave that head there. But let's go back to Cowboy Left. Yeah, so we had stuff moving like this. He turns his head. We had the thumb pressing, and then the hand. And then he turns his head again. Yeah, so there's not much. But as he's gesturing here, let's have his body rotate a little bit too. Because that'll add a lot of movement because everything's connected to the body. So if we literally just have him lean back as he gestures ever so slightly. Create the classic tween, go to ease in and out, make it quad. And there you go, that adds so much more movement to his body because he's gesturing, and like naturally as I gesture I lean back. So he should do that too. Can you please make lip sync in live streams? I've done a lip sync video. I can do a lip sync live stream, but it would be the same stuff, so what's the point? Nick Maddie Gaming, please do not spam my chat. You've been hidden. You have one warning. If you spam my chat with that crap again, I'll ban you. I'll ban you to heck and back. How much am I charging for this? That is private information. I'm afraid I can't share that. It's it wouldn't be very professional of me. 3 million. Yeah, nice. That looks much better. Cool. Let's do the same thing over here with this boy then. We've got a nice bit of animating there. Bop, bop, bop. Let's do the finger moving on this hand then, because that's a nice easy fix to make it look nice. Do it on the hand layer. And we'll do the same thing we did last time. Just move the finger and then paint in around it, because, you know, why the hell not, right? Should lock the controller though, so that I don't accidentally select it. Boom, here we go. Nice, that's pretty good. I think this one we're probably just going to have to end up redrawing it anyway, so I might just select and delete that whole section. Turn on onion skin and just give it a go. Make normal. No worries, Charan. It's just the kind of thing that I can't just say that. It's private, isn't it? I'll happily, like, in more generic terms on a different live stream, talk about how much I charge for projects, and then from that you can extrapolate if you so desire. But yeah, I can't just be like, oh, this person I've taken into my confidence is paying me this much money. You know, that'd be a bit of a dick move. So again, we're going to need just a little bit of an indication that there are other fingers there. Yeah, and then we'll just come back in on these frames. And I think these will get away with replicating them, so that's fine. And then we can take this one and it'll be back to normal by that point. Why isn't it copying that keyframe? Have I done it? No. Why the heck not? Copy frame, paste frame. There we go. Stupid computer. Not listening to me. Cool. So we got normal finger, up, back down to the bottom. Brilliant. So there's our middle frame. Let's just do something that's quite similar to that. Jonathan Wolf says, I went to the About page to see how many views you got in total, and I never knew you had about 10 million views. Yeah, a lot of those are on like a few series that did very well, and then the rest are kind of fluctuating, but you know. Nick Maddie Gaming, you're going into timeout. Timeout. Don't just come onto my stream randomly and advertise your own channel. Okay? I'm going to have to put you in timeout for that, buddy. Add something constructive to the conversation. I'm savage. Cool, that looks better, yeah. Bop, bop, bop. Cool. So that one's just got to be like pretty similar. Maybe like a little bit raised up, but otherwise exactly the same. As if they've just taken their hand off the controller, and we'll use it as an opportunity to bring in these darker lines so it's less jarring when they appear in the next frame. Bop, 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 and then backwards again. So that one needs to be that frame. That one could be a copy of that frame. And voila, we got ourselves our cowboys clicking fingers. Nice, looks pretty good. You have a budget Huion, says Huey. I didn't want to pay too much for a beginner's animation. Yep, Huion's great. Nothing wrong with Huion. Love Huion. Yeah, they've got a Black Friday sale right now, so now's the time, right? You've heard good things about them. Personally, just connect my iPad to my PC. There's a slight delay, but I can live with it. Yeah, but like if you've got an iPad, then you can probably afford, you know, Wacom or something. So it's not really comparable. But yeah, I've used my iPad for drawing before and stuff like that. So it's definitely good. So at what point does our cowboy on the left turn his head? It's after that. So this guy should turn it a bit earlier maybe, because we can already kind of see his head a little bit. So maybe he should turn first around here. Oops, that's just for my reference. So if I go in here, we've got his head, like that. So as he's moving it. So let's do that, yeah. Let's go inside his head, call it frame 55. And let's do, this should now be showing a single frame from here. In fact, it should be doing a single frame all the way through, and I think I ballsed it up. Yeah, I probably did. Bonk. Let's see if that'll work. If not, we've only done a few keyframes so far. Yep, single frame. No, didn't work. That's okay, we'll fix it now. There we go, nice. Right, so inside the head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames is all we need. And we'll just animate between them. And this guy's head's a lot more simpler than the other one. He doesn't have a mustache or anything coming off his face, so it'll be a bit easier. Charan says specs needed to run Animate CC. Not a lot. I used to run it on an old crappy PC, so it could be a laptop. Normal ass laptop would be fine. You know, obviously the more powerful, the easier it's going to run. But it's not a particularly demanding software. Right, so let's just his eyes and his features, yeah. So let's lock that so we can only see his what? The base of his head. And then we're going to draw the rest of the frames to the base of the head here. So let's say the final position, probably the shape of his head isn't going to change much again, which is good for us. And all the rotation of the head and stuff is done on layers above this. So again, should still be fairly simple to work with. Which again is good for us. It makes our lives just that little bit easier. Be more prominent as he turns his head. I don't know why I'm being careful on the top of the head here. Again, it's hidden by the hat, but it's probably just out of habit. But his nose is going to be like, boom, like that maybe. Because he's not turning all the way around. He's just turning like to look at his comrade. So let's try that, see what that looks like. His beard, however, will be vastly different. So let's get beard colour, which I forget the colour for. Yep, it's that reddish, one step down from the skin tone. So let's turn on paint selection mode. And he's turned his head, which means his ear is going to move backwards. Probably to something like there. Oops, have I... Yeah, I painted it all the wrong colour. Bosh. There we go. Right. So, his ears are going to have moved, let's say, to back here. Which means that his hair would no longer curve up the back of his head because it's like going to be looking directly from the side. And his old beard will be pretty much similar, like that, but his hair would be more like that. That looks pretty good actually, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, okay, so bottom of his beard, like so. Fill it in, see what he looks like. Boom, pretty good. Pretty darn good. Peter Whitfield says, awesome, thank you, Peter. Bonnie Tie, I'm a rookie with Animate CC and all my lines turn into the colour of the layer I'm drawing on. Is there an easy fix? Turn into the colour of the layer you're drawing on. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Explain to me in different words what you mean. So his eyeball and his mouth. I think I kind of want his mouth to like... This guy I definitely want to have talking because you can see his mouth. So I think we're actually going to need more frames of him like from the side. So I think I'm going to separate his mouth onto its own layer. Oh, which I'd already done, like an idiot. I just didn't draw it on there. So for this one we're just going to have him smiling still, but then we're going to do some frames where he's talking too. There's no lip sync to sync it up to, but that's fine, he's just going to be like... Bah, 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 bah. This is so satisfying, says Jonathan Wolf. Thank you. Very kind of you. I think we'll just move his eye back a little bit. Maybe it should be more back like here. But I don't know, it just looks a bit... Makes him look a little bit derpy. See it without onion skin on. That looks okay. Maybe like that. That's fine. Right, so let's continue just with the turn of the head first. We'll just lock those two layers. And we've got 2 keyframes to work with now, which is great. So again, we'll just go back to our skin colour. And we'll have a look at drawing this guy's head. Do you draw everything on the same layer? Hell no. I've got 3 layers at least just for this section of the head, and then outside that I've got something like 20 layers or 30 layers for this whole project. There's no benefit to drawing everything on the same layer in Adobe Animate at all. I could, like for example, make this a bit easier on myself and draw the hair using a mask, but you have to lock the masks for them to be visible in the final thing, and I always forget. And for something this simple, it is just easier to use the paint selection brushes and stuff like that. So that's what I do. Try and get halfway directly in the middle between that first frame and this last one. And then we'll just come around for the jaw here. Like so. And the edges of the neck. Like so. As well. While we're here, we could try isolating the ear a little bit. See how that works out. By just creating like that framework for the face. And by doing the same thing up here as well, we'll probably save a bit of time. But let's just see if that works, because I don't think it's going to. I think I'm still going to need to... Yeah, I'm going to need to just do it myself anyway. Well, let's just fill it in. And if we turn it to outline mode, we'll be able to see the shapes of the head and stuff like that we need to fill in. So I'm going to select everything on the layer. Going to change to my dark color here. Let's probably change the color of the layer, so we'll undo that. Yep. And then making sure we've got paint selection mode on. We'll just come in, start working on his facial features again. When you change the layer color of what you're drawing, that also changes. Yes, it does do that. It's literally what just happened to me there. It's because you'll have something selected and you've got the layer selected whilst you're changing color. So just deselect something by tapping off of it and then change your color. And then it won't do it anymore, basically. Cool, so the hairline of this dude then. Let's come in and grab these. Now I know I'm going to need more later on when we get to the next section of this, more head frames, but for now I'm just drawing these, and the good thing about single frame picking is that you can add more frames later on and it doesn't affect anything you've made previously. Which is crazy, crazy useful in animation because you're always going back and making changes to things you thought were done. It's just the way it is. Sweet. A couple more frames, just the head, and then we'll move on to the mouth bit. Oh, you're asking Bunny Tie, sorry. I just see the chat and just I carry on into the conversation. I want to be part of it. I want to be part of the conversation. Don't you cut me out. God damn it. Sweet. Paint normal mode. Yeah, good. And this guy's head's actually quite pleasing to draw, if that makes sense. It's like a nice shape. Nice. So this is the preceding one, so that's going to be the smallest nose. So we'll just make it ever so slightly larger. We've done a pretty good job of not getting any head wobble or boil in here, so we'll try and retain that as we come to draw the rest of the frames as well, just by making sure that the edges of our drawings are a nice neat hard line. So deselect, grab your darker colour, go to paint selection mode, select something, and then there you go. Blue is the preceding frame, green is the upcoming frame. So as we're easing this one out, we want to stick closer to the blue where possible. Nice. That should look pretty dope if we went through it now. Awesome, it's looking good. So, last frame of the head then, and then we can move on to the eyes and the mouth, which is nice. Nick Maddie Gaming, hello, welcome. Welcome back from timeout. Bunny Ty says, no, sorry, this conversation's for the cool kids. Oh, fuck you then. Fine. It's time to put Bunny Ty into timeout mode. Get out of here, Bunny Ty. I'm joking, you can stay, but only if you let me be part of your gang. I'll be your hype man, I'll hype you up. Pretty good. Ha. Oops, I'm rushing here and I'm not like respecting the lines of the original, and that's where you get boil. Bosh. Whoa, look at that smooth nose. That was a beautiful line. Well done, me. Pat myself on the back. Yes, I've got a nice fun animation queued up for next week, which I suppose will be next month actually. It's gonna be like a little thank you animation, so when somebody donates, it comes up with something a bit more exciting than what we've currently got. But I'm doing it in like a really animated, cartoony style, so it's gonna be all sorts of squash and stretch going on, and all kind of other fun things that we can draw. So I'm really excited to be working on that next week. That's gonna be loads of fun. Can't wait. So we go back to paint selection mode, we select our layer, and this time we're trying to get it as close to the green as possible, while still leaving obviously some animation in there, because otherwise what's the point of drawing all these different frames? Nice. And boom, that looks pretty dope. Remembering, of course, what side of the line you need to draw on in outline mode is always good, because it will cross over itself. And that's how you get bad line work, when you forget. Cool, let's turn off onion skin, zoom out a bit, take a look at our cowboy's head. Looks pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice. So let's add in the mouth and stuff. Huey, shoot, you got to go. Can't wait to see the finished product. See you guys next stream. Yes, I'll see you next Friday. Thank you so much for stopping by. Very kind of you. Love from India from Natish. Love from UK, Natish. How's it going? See you later, Huey. Thanks for stopping by. Indian Pen Spinner, great name, says, "Hi sir, you're great. Thank you very much for your Adobe Animate tutorials." Well, thank you very much for watching them. It's very kind to you. Very kind of you. See you later, Bunny Tie. Thank you for subscribing on your way out. It's very kind. Escanor, welcome to the live stream. What is up, my dude? Hope you're having a lovely afternoon. I am, and therefore I hope you are. We've got some nice chill music. We're doing a chill cowboy animation today. That's pretty much all there is to say. Oops, gotta go on paint normal mode, not paint selection mode. I'm a damn fool. I'm a damn fool. Bosh. 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 Cool, so some eyes then. Again, try and get one slap bang in the middle. And then try and get one that eases or hugs or slows into and out of the final frames. Boom. So this cowboy's head, quite simple, and because it's quite simple we need to add something else to make it a bit more interesting. So what we're going to add is 5 frames of the mouth opening. Don't need the eyes to move though, so it's literally just the mouth. But what I will do is keyframe the head, because we might have to erase some of the behind sections. And actually I think just 3 will be fine, because we're going to go back and forth between them, aren't we? So the most open mouth that we're going to have, I want something like this. We can take a chunk out of the beard, like that, and delete it, get rid of it, get out of here. And then perhaps we'll have to do some of this behind the head layer as well on its own frame. So we'll just call this one like mouth inner. What I'd like is some teeth, which I'll put in their own layer because they're not going to animate, because they shouldn't move unless his head moves, and his head animation is done on the layer above this. So I'll stick these on their own layer with a single frame. I will draw some teeth, which I'll do in this gradient color because otherwise they'll blend into the background too. So we'll just pop those out there, fill that in, select it and grab our gradient tool, and then just find the edges of our gradient, which for some reason all the way over there. There we go. Now he's got some nice gradient teeth going on, which is good. South London Reseller, hey Matt, it would be great to see a tutorial focusing on head turns. That is a cracking idea and something that I am definitely planning on doing once I've got my intro series out of the way. There'll 100% be a tutorial on my style of head turns, okay, because I don't know how to teach anything else. So it might not be like the gospel truth, but it is the way I do it, and the way like I think in my head whilst I'm doing it. I explained a little bit about it last time, if you remember. I think it was actually to you about this idea of like I picture like the head divided up, and then I picture like an object moving around that circle, you know, and like that would be the nose, if that makes sense. I think I explained that before. Ben Artoon says Daddy Tip Tut. Don't ever call me that. That makes me feel physically ill. Nitish Dav, welcome to the live stream. Love from India. Love from the UK, man. I love you too. Huey, see you later, man. Oh no, that was ages ago. Sorry. Saranch says, great job. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. So we've got the teeth now drawn in. And now I just want the tongue. And in fact, I don't think we need anything on here, so we'll just leave those layers blank, but we will add some more layers underneath. So we need the tongue layer, we need the back of the mouth layer, and we've got the teeth layer. So here we've got the tongue, which is going to be this color. And we'll make it like quite flat. And we'll shift it back a bit because it looks like he's going like at the moment. So we'll fix that. So that's what we've got so far. Then we need the back of the mouth. But here's a cool thing that I've learned. If you offset the back of the mouth, it looks really cool. So instead of like drawing the back of the mouth like here or something where it would be, I'm literally just going to offset it loads. Bosh. Look at that. Look how cartoony cool that looks. It looks really nice. Like, and you could even push it a bit further to something like that. Doesn't that look lovely? So then the next thing is to just go back a frame, copy out all these things, because these probably won't change, so if they do need to, I'll just animate their position. The teeth definitely don't move because the top of the mouth only dictates that. And head base is how we'll animate the rest of this. So we will outline head base, we will lock every other layer. And on here, the only thing we'll do is we'll take the tongue and we'll just animate it up. And then here, we'll take the tongue and we'll animate it up. Because the jaw is going to go bah, 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 but the top teeth don't move. So with that done, we can then go to our head base layer and then just choose the bits we want to erase. So last time it was that much, but this time we'll maybe make it just a little bit less on the top and less on the bottom, and then we'll select that middle bit and delete it. Bosh. Now we've got a slightly closed mouth, apart from I, like an absolute fool, erased some of the tongue too, because I forgot to lock that tongue layer. So we'll just do that. Boom, that looks nice. And then on this one, we'll erase just a little bit less. maybe that much. Okay. And then we can turn on our onion skin and just change it back to normal, default onion skin. Boom. Show this again. Lock that off again. Zoom out again. And we've now got a nice little mouth that we can open and animate up and down. Because he's not saying anything, that's all the frames that we need. So that's golden. We can now go back up to our layer above and animate that. Tales of Dramadonia. If you just spam emotes, the bot will block you. It may have been lovely emotes, but you'll get blocked anyway. Right, I'm going to take a step away for no longer than 60 seconds. We will be right back. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. I love you. Bye. Hello, we're back. Peter Whitfield, he probably needs to go pee-pee. How did you know? No, I actually go and stretch my legs because my hand gets cramp and my back gets cramp from hunching over this this graphics tablet. But I also did go pee-pee, yeah. Good old animation, eh? Just entertaining myself, don't worry about me. Single frame. That's going to fix that. Lovely job. He's going to talk, he's going to turn his head. Nice. Right. So we've got a little bit of animation going on here. We need to... Honestly, once you turn his head, it will make it look like way more involved. So let's start doing that. Let's have it be on frame, say 47. He's going to move to position 2, and then position 3, and then position 4, and then position 5, and then he'll retain on position 5 till he tilts his head back on position 5. And then this will be position 5. But in between there, we're going to have him move through 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5. So he should open his mouth a couple of times there. Oops, that was position 3. That was foolish. Position 5. There we go. So he's chatting away. So let's have a look. There you go. He's talking to his mate. Let's have sort his hat as well, because his hat needs to just animate a little bit whilst he's turning his head there. So what we'll do is we'll just tweak that down, classic tween him there, ease him in and out, quad it. And then as he's leaning back into the game, let's have him turn his head back. So you can go to 6, 7, 8. Then from here, which will be back to 7, we'll have him start to turn his head, just so it doesn't look too robotic. So by that point he gets back to 1. But we'll also classic tween into that first position where he's going to lower his head again. I'm going to move it forward just so it covers up that tiny section on his hand there. And we'll ease in and out quad like this. So he's got mouth. So from there he goes from 8 to 7 to 6, 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Nice. And let's have a look at that. Oh, what's that down there on his chin? He's got a weird spot. Oh no, it's just... There's a tiny bit of face that has no face. A tiny 1 pixel with no face on it. Look, it's a catastrophe. Let's fix it. There you go. Show frame, back to the main scene, and now we've got 2 animated cowboys. Nice, that looks pretty good. So he stops moving quite quickly after he turns his head back. So he definitely needs some more movement all the way up to frame 200, but we knew that anyway. It's looking pretty nice so far, I think. Clarence Cruz, hello, welcome to the live stream. How's it going? It's starting to dip off now. You're coming close to the end. We've got about 45 minutes left. It seems to be about 2 hours seems to be the best length for these, so I don't know if I'm going to stick with them being 2 to 5 or reduce them 2 to 4. But I can't really get much done in 2 hours. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like them coming in and then dropping off again, which is fine, that's the nature of live streams. But I just want to make sure I'm not boring you chaps. You know? I want to be a good, entertaining boy. I think most people lurk on these streams anyway, which is nice, it makes it very chill. Let's have just a subtle animation on this backhand here. There we go, that'll do. Just something really, really smooth and subtle. Because otherwise it's completely static, and you don't want that. Actually, that looks terrible. Why would I do that? Ugh, undo. Clear keyframe, remove tween. That looks bad. I'm a terrible animator. Why did I think that would look good? This will look good though. Classic tween there. Ease it with a cubic just to keep it interesting. And then on hand front, we do like an additional little quick flick bounce that way. Classic tween, classic ease in and out, cubic. There you go, he's got like a little like he's trying to adjust what he's doing. Nice, that's good. Hey, look at that little toff. Well done, Pete. That's a good meme. I notice you're taking good advantage of your new members only emoticons of Phoebe and Toff. Money well spent, eh? So his head just rock back and forth a tiny bit. Again, just really subtle. Most of this stuff is just really passive movement, really passive animation, and it's just a case of just adding in all these little subtleties that add layers to your animation. Most people won't even notice, but they'll notice them if they're not there. Like the hat movement and stuff like that. Oh, look at that angry boy face, Al. That's the face I make when my computer breaks. Like when I accidentally dropped my green screen into my monitors the other day and ruined 4 years of hard work. That's the kind of bullshit that I pull on a daily basis. Hey look, it's Toff. Hello baby. Come here, down here. Good girl. It's Toffee, ladies and gentle germs. Here she is. You say hello, Toffee. Yo, members, get out your tip-toff emoticons, for I have been joined by the Queen herself. Tip-toff. She gets her tip-tot hoodie for Christmas. She's a good girl. She's such a cutie. Look, Toffee up there, look. Hey. Yeah. It's all the viewers. Right, off your pop. See you like that. You've done your bit. Good girl. Back to it. Hey. We rarely see Phoebe on stream these days, so you got to nab Toff when she wanders by. Nice. There's a nice bit of animation going on there. I don't think he needs another head turn, if I'm honest. Let's have a look.
Group of knuckleheads sitting around talking about video games and other media. Word is, they got 3
No, that's great. I think we can call that section finished. Let's see what it looks like in Adobe Animate with all of the effects. Indian Pen Spinner, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. When you here earlier? We got our guys animating.
Sitting around talking about video games and other media. Word is, they got 3 save files.
He needs a little bit more on the right, just a little bit more. A little bit more of a like drift to finish it off. Even if I just take. No, I won't take those keyframes because that'll balls it up probably. Even if I just take like here, and we go something real simple, like the body, or maybe even just the arm. We haven't animated just the arm for a while, so we'll just do that just to finish it off. And it'll just keep that alive. It's called keeping the animation alive. Just holding on that animation just for a few more frames. And really gentle, just nice little gentle movement like that. And maybe the head tilting back just slightly. Don't even need to bring it back into the original position. We can just have his head lifting up with a classic tween. Boom. Nice. That'll hold it just enough movement. And lovely job. Looks real nice. Okay, here we go. Pop.
You ever hear tell of the Broken Campfire? Group of knuckleheads sitting around talking about video games and other media. Word is,
No, I know
they
it
got
jumps a
3 save
little
files.
bit into position there, but is that just this dude? It's just when he starts to turn his head, that's fine then. Great, let's take a look at it in After Effects with all the stuff applied to it.
You ever hear tell
Because it'd be a little bit distracting watching it with all that other stuff going on, so it's better sometimes to just watch it in After
You ever
Effects.
hear tell of the Broken Campfire? Group of knuckleheads sitting around talking about video games and other media. Word is, they got 3 save files, roasting over open flame.
That looks really nice. I think we need to add just a little bit of something going on here, even if it's just like the body rocking back and forth. Because there is that fade, I think it needs just something. So we'll add in a bunch of classic tweens, nothing too crazy, because we don't want maybe too distracting during the fade, because otherwise it will get too visually confusing for the viewer. So we'll classic ease him in and out a bit with quad again, and of course we will do the same on the hat, and then we'll do something just really quick for the other cowboy too during this same section. So first of all, we'll clear all these superfluous keyframes because that just gives it a chance to balls up. And we don't want that. So we'll just take the body again and we'll just add in something really subtle, just to keep the animation alive during that fade. This guy's head we won't move, but we'll move instead his arm. Like that. Classic tween, classic ease, in and out, quad, save, main scene, enter. Nicky Matter Gaming, welcome back, man. How you doing? Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're having a lovely afternoon, doing whatever it was you were doing. Wait, I can just embed. Oh my god, if I do that again, does it pop out? No. Oh, I never knew that. God, that's incredible. I didn't know you could embed it. Oh, that's so good. What's this? What's show redraw regions? What's that? I don't know what that means. Show all none. Does that like clip it? I don't know if that clips it.
That's us. Broken Campfire. We're a
No, it doesn't do
video
anything.
game and other media
100%.
discussion podcast.
Zoom out. Zoom in. Zoom
Why
out.
don't you
Show all.
spill?
Oh, show all just shows all. Is there a way to clip? Like, clip the edges?
You ever hear tell of the Broken
Dunno.
Campfire?
Oh, I shouldn't be messing around with all this crap without saving my project, should I?
Knuckleheads sitting around.
So let's do that. Let's save. Export the SWF, which will now pop up in a separate window. Head on over to After Effects, and now we should have just a little bit of motion, which we do just during that transition. But we can't really see it. Should I just shift these along a bit? Because that's where most of the fade is going to take place, right? So yeah, let's just shift them along just a wee bit. Oh, just a wee bit, laddie. Making sure, of course, to duplicate those keyframes back at the start, otherwise they'll just randomly flash in, like this guy's done, and that's no good at all. So much detail. Thank you, South London Reseller. Of course. That's what you get when you animate with me. You get detail, baby. Nice smooth animation. Thank you, Maybe Sharma. Very kind of you. Cool. So that should hopefully fix that little issue there.
You ever hear tell of the broken campfire.
Pop back into After Effects, force a reload on the file just in case. You should, yeah, so you can just see them just starting to move now, just as the fade's coming into place, which is good, because it's like narrative consistency.
You ever hear tell of the broken campfire? Group of knuckleheads sitting around talking about video games and other media. Word is, they got 3 save files, roasted over open flame, just rotate. That's us.
So they're back here now. Oh, what happened there? Did that glitch weirdly, or was that just me blinking at the wrong time? So now we've got this section to do. Now we've got the thumbs and stuff changing, which I don't want much more than this, because at this point they're then going to turn and look at the camera, at the third person entering the scene. So we don't want them going like bah, 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 to each other at this point. We just kind of want them playing and looking at the telly, and then they both turn around and look over their shoulders towards the camera, slide away, and allow the third person to sit down. So that's going to be the next step on this. But I think honestly that will do for today, because that's a whole new thing, and I have to figure it out yet and add more frames. But it'll be more of the same that we've done here, which was just to tween with the classic tween, and then inside those labels and graphics we'd have single frame frame pickers to turn the heads and stuff like that. So all exciting stuff. So I think that'll do for this week. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, every single week you guys come back and watch, which is very kind and a very lovely way to spend my Friday afternoons. So I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you to Peter and Ali as well for donating. Thank you to every single one of my members for being members and being lovely. Thank you everybody that's watching, subscribing, etc. If you join and become part of the Tip Top Zone, you get access to all sorts of cool perks, like discounts on merchandise, access to the Discord, shout outs in videos, personal design feedback, all that stuff. So I love you. Thank you. Consider becoming members, and I'll see you next Friday at the same time for something completely different. And I will see you all later. Goodbye.